Hello there, pond prowler pilots, pond prowler people. Coming to you from Southern California. One of the videos that I've got has got somebody in there that made a comment. I believe it's Ernie1089. Thank you very much for asking the question on how I am able to have the 6 horsepower motor on pond prowler that's rated for 3.5, and the 3.5 alone makes for some pretty insane flex. I had that, wasn't fast enough, wasn't able to get up on plane, just didn't get me to my fishing areas out in the ocean quick enough. I needed to go miles and miles, and the 3.5 just wasn't hacking it, but the 6 I felt like would just rip the transom off, so I did this. So I'll make this quick because I have lunch that I need to eat, and I gotta focus. Oh hell, who am I kidding? It's in and out, you know, you can't really. Oh, that's good. That's good right there. Oh, that's good. I'm out of Coke. All right, so where was I? All right, this is a 2x6. Was a 2x6. Now it's a 2x6 by 5.5 by 4.5 by blah blah blah. It's 2x5. Anyway, I did this just for aesthetics because I wanted the 2x6 so it would have the height up here to support the height of this. There's somebody online right now that does it with a 2x4, and I just don't feel like that height of the bolts adds enough structural, torsional support. So what I did, I took this, just bolted it right here, which I swear is the strongest part of this entire boat because of the multiple, you know, the multiple curves and just all the stuff that's going on back here. I've found that that's really strong. So it's great to use this as support, and then you know, the board itself maintains its own stiffness. And so what I did, I took threaded rods. They were this long to start with. Then I took stainless steel lock nuts and washers. And what I did is I put what's here and what's here is the same thing. And in its natural state, I didn't torsion it one way or the other. I didn't put pressure between them. I just clamped this rod right where it sits on all the bolts first, and then came over here, and I had to put these on first and then slide it through. It was a little bit of a puzzle getting them together, but I did the exact same thing here. I washers, nuts, and then what I did is I sandwiched this together because there's space in here, and that's part of the flex you get from these things. That little piece of wood that's in here, which stops right about here, it's shaped just like this, but it's moving around in there, and it's moving around, you know, down here under this right here, and there's even a gap between where the bottom of this is. It's about that big, and that moves around and does this. And so this whole thing it's horrible design. There's all sorts of things on this boat that I can't stand that they totally overlooked and could have made better, but that's why I did all the stuff I did, and I'm still doing it. So like I said, subscribe. You'll see all the future videos I'm gonna do on all the different stuff I've done and what I'm going to do. I'm gonna put all sorts of stuff on this. So once those are sandwiched together, that's it. That's literally it. Once these are tight, it won't move at all as long as these are tight. And I do believe I didn't show you this part. So let me get the camera off here. This is a rough video. I'm not too good at filming stuff myself. So these bolts, stainless steel bolts, go through, but I don't just have them, you know, washered to the back side of the plastic. As you can see, there's an aluminum strap. It's, you know, I don't know, 1/8 inch thick. And let me see if I can get the camera down in here. There it is. That's what it looks like. And basically I drilled 2 holes the exact same distance, and then that acts as a backing plate. You can probably make a bigger one if you want. I mean, make this thing even stronger. I just did my testing and I found that that was actually more than enough. So you see this little hatch I have here, so I'm gonna show you the benefits of that in another video. Stay tuned. Like my actual, that's just a flashlight I put down there. My transducer's down there for my fish finder. It's a through hole design like they do on kayaks. So there's no, you know, I'm not putting brackets outside that get caught on the kelp and stuff like that. So it's through the hole, nice and clean. I'll show you that later. So that's that. And then back here, I had to, on this particular motor, I had to space it, because if I put it on where the pond prowler, where this plate would sit from the motor, it hits that rubber deal, which I'd imagine I can cut it, put a notch in there. What it does is it hits the little lock rod right here, and then so when it turns back and forth, it used to hit that. So I put this little, what I would say, 3/8 of an inch cutting board. It used to be my fish cutting board. I cut that just exactly how it needed to be, made it nice and flush with the top, and then these 2 little screws here, little through bolts, those are just to keep this on when I take the motor off. So it just clamps it all together, and it actually helps clamp the whole thing together as well. That was my first modification, actually, thinking that that would stiffen it, and it didn't, because I figured out that the entire transom just had to be stopped from moving. So that is that. Now when this thing is underway, it does not move. I mean, there's no way for me to really show you. I mean, it moves the whole boat. There's a little bit of movement here just because I don't have it clamped down. But I mean, if it moves just a frog hair. Most of the movement you see in the motor here is just from the suspension, just from the steer tube. There's slop in there. I've had this motor quite a while, so it's got some miles on it. So that is all. I hope that helped Ernie to know how I did this. I've used this actual board to just mount other stuff. I used to have a little bracket here that held my light, but then I was like, I went and bought this Walmart stern light for night fishing, and it just drilled a hole exactly the same size, cut the little bolt thing off, and shoved it in there. Pretty primitive, but you can see here just the front view of it, how I did that. I think I'm gonna be redoing this. This was actually just an experiment, but it's an experiment that ended up working really, really well. So I'm not super motivated to make it prettier until now. Now I'm making videos with this thing. After all these years, I'm making videos with this beast. So I'll show you everything. Just let me know. When I redo this, I'm actually gonna take these bolts and leave that one there and probably lower that one just for extra strength. I'm gonna take this and make this out of aluminum, and probably gonna make plates that mimic this, that or just some aluminum tubing. It's a little less sharp, you know, when you shove stuff in here, because this is where I shove, you know, my towels, and my life vest goes right here and stuff like that. But that's what it looks like from the front. I plan on making this bolt here a little bit higher in the future because it's angled down a little bit, and then this one's angled up a little bit. So this one will go up a hair, and then this one will probably go down a good solid inch, and that'll just give me even more flex strength. But that'll be when I actually remake this whole thing out of aluminum. And I guess what I really want to do is make the whole thing out of aluminum and then cover this whole thing just enough so I can still clamp the motor on, but it gives me like a little compartment here where I can have maybe a hatch, and there's a little bit of, I don't know, I can leave stuff on the boat going down the road. Currently I can drive down the road with this mounted to the boat. That's how strong this is. I can actually drive down the road. It's not the best for it, I'm sure. It's not even good for the motor and the steer tube and all that stuff, but I can do some sort of a transom saver, or even, you know, put this in the stowed position and, you know, put some strap mounts, kind of like I did up here. Oh, Irresistible. Kind of like I did here. Right here and here. I can do those, and I can even show you. They're great hooks. Harbor Freight sells them just like that. So I plan on putting those back here and probably driving around with the motor on, because it's really a pain in the butt to stick that in the back of my my Honda Accord. And then when it's down like that, I'll probably have some of those hooks and then just run a strap, and that keeps it weighted down, keeps it balanced on the transom so it's not flexing on it. So that's it. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I'll answer it. Or if you have suggestions, I'm more than willing to consider them. And that is all. Thanks for watching.